Hey, my name's Lee. Thanks for joining me. Today I'm making caramelised balsamic. Now, caramelised balsamic is so different than your regular balsamic. It is thick and sweet and rich, and it's absolutely delicious on salads or bruschetta or even on desserts. And it makes a beautiful Christmas gift. The thing is, it's quite expensive to buy, but it's really inexpensive to make. And I've been making it for years with 2 ingredients only. And once you know the ratio and the method, you can make as much or as little as you please. So this is how I do it. So the 2 ingredients you need are balsamic vinegar, just regular balsamic, and sugar. And I use dark brown sugar because it's less likely to burn than white sugar. The ratio is whatever amount of vinegar you put in, you put 2/3 the amount of sugar. And it's a simple calculation. For instance, I've got 1,000 mils of vinegar and I just multiply that by 0.666 and that gives me 666 grams of sugar. Because a gram and a mil is basically the same weight when it applies to vinegar, then it's interchangeable. Another example is if I had 2 litres of vinegar, which is 2,000 mils, I multiply that by 0.666, which equals 1,332 grams of sugar. So this balsamic vinegar only costs $3 a bottle. So I pour the vinegar into a pot and I weigh the sugar. So I just weigh 666 grams of dark brown sugar. Now I leave the sugar there and I take the pot over to the stove. And what I want to do now is bring the vinegar to the boil. Once the vinegar has come to a boil, I reduce the heat and I just gently simmer it away until that amount is reduced to half. And if you're doing large amounts, it can take your breath away, so you may need to open your windows. As you can see, the vinegar has reduced by a half. It took about an hour, and now I'm going to add the brown sugar. Be cautious, the vinegar is really hot. Stir it for a little bit, just until the sugar is dissolved. And then I'm going to bring it back to a simmer and simmer it until it coats the back of a spoon. Keep it on a really low simmer because we don't want to burn it. By reducing the vinegar first and then adding the sugar, it's less likelihood that this will burn and this part won't take as long. So this has been so gently simmering for about half an hour now, and it's coating the back of the spoon. And if I run my finger through it, it should just stay like that. It will thicken a lot as it cools down. Don't worry if you take your vinegar too far and it's thick and tar-like. Don't worry, you can fix that. All you have to do is warm it back up, add some more balsamic vinegar and thin it out. It's happened to me before. That, to me, is ready now. Turn off the heat. Let it cool down to it's a warm temperature, so about half an hour. It's terribly hot at the moment. And in the meantime, I'm going to sterilise some jars. And I find the easiest way to sterilise jars is to take clean jars and wet them, lids and all, and place them on a tray and put them in a very low oven, 100 degrees Celsius or 210 degrees Fahrenheit for about half an hour or until the jars are dry. This is the way I've always sterilised jars and I've never had an issue. When the jars are dry and the balsamic is still warm, I can start filling the jars. And I think what I'm going to do today is use this measuring jug. My idea this year is to give people a jar of tomato relish, a jar of mustard pickles, and a small jar of caramelised balsamic. And I think that's such a lovely present. And it is vinegar and it will keep indefinitely. What amount of vinegar you start with, you'll roughly end up with almost that amount. So today I used 1 litre of vinegar and I end up making 850 mils of caramelised balsamic. and all it cost was $7. And if yours is a little bit runny, don't worry, pop it in the fridge and it will firm up. Oh, that's not enough for Mike and I. I might have to pinch one of those jars. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully I'll see you again soon.